Hello and welcome to the workout of the week with Escape Fitness. We're here with Andy Phillips to do the demonstrations. My name's Tommy Matthews and we're going to work on a CMT training workout this time. It's all about a powerful core and creating a powerful core. Okay, it's a very important part of our body. A lot of power is generated from that area. Stability is also important through that area, and the CMT is a very good way of integrating the whole body whilst really working on developing that power through the core. So essentially we're going to just focus on two exercises, but we're going to do them really well. And we're going to do them at high speed, so really focusing on high velocity, high speed to try to tap into, at end of range, to try to tap into that eccentric loading and that deceleration across the joint, across the muscles, to then getting that concentric force and contraction, which is the acceleration. So it's a deceleration, acceleration, which is something that is really important, especially something that we can tap into with the CMT quite quickly. So two exercises. We're going to do it with the heavier CMT, that's the 4 kilo. So we want to be making sure that we're prepared for this. So some warm-ups beforehand might be a good idea. Maybe get a lighter CMT and just go through the movements first to make sure you're prepared. Andy's going to do some demonstrations now. The first one we're going to look at is the launch. It's one of the key movements with the CMT, probably one of the most beneficial, especially through the anterior chain. It's very good for opening up across the thoracic and across the shoulder complex. So with this movement pattern, what we're looking at doing, Andy, let's just perform a couple now. Okay, awesome, and rest there. So essentially what we're trying to do here is throw or launch the CMT straight over the head. If Andy goes side on for a second, I just want you to come to the top position for us. So just come up there, up onto the heels, so you'll see that we've come to full hip extension. It's really important in this position that we're strong through the glutes and we're tight through the trunk and torso, tight through the core, really tight here. Because in this position, with all of that load coming up over the head, we want to make sure that we're supported and we're controlled. Okay, so that's one thing just to note when you're doing this. You're working with a heavy CMT here, you can have a lot of load to decelerate. Okay, so let's look from side profile now. What we're trying to do here, as I mentioned before, is looking at this deceleration to acceleration, the eccentric, concentric, and the transition between those. We're trying to get that as quick as possible. So Andy's going to try to transition between the two as quick as possible. So as soon as it comes up there, he hears that sound, he pulls it back down again. Okay, and rest there. If necessary, what you can do for this is just pause at the bottom after each one. All we're really focusing on at the moment is the upward phase and the downward portion of that, okay? When we get down here, I'm not too concerned about that. If you need to reset, you can pause at the bottom before you go again. So let's just demonstrate that quickly. This would be how I'd start with clients. Pause, reset, take a breath in, ready to go again. Pause, reset, and go again. If you start to feel confident, okay, what we're really aiming to do is 5 to 6 reps, really powerful, really explosive, using the lower body, throwing that CMT over and then throwing it back down again. So we're going to get some loading here and some unloading as well. Okay, so let's have a look at 5 of those, Andy. Up, down. Really throw it over, drive through those hips. Good. Okay, and rest there. Now, he's already got his heart rate up there, so you can see that this is quite challenging. Okay, which is when we're training for power, we want to make sure that we've got plenty of rest and recovery in between them. I would suggest somewhere up to around 90 seconds here between each one. And again, what we're trying to do here is to explode. We're trying to get as much power and force, or apply as much power and force through our body as possible. So do rest and recover in between each round. If you do rest and recover properly, you should be able to apply that force and speed and power, and you should be able to do between 4 to 6 sets of that exercise. Okay, the next exercise we're going to look at is called a throw. Exactly the same principle, so I don't need to go into that again. We're just going to demonstrate the exercise. Same principles apply, Andy. Same speed, same power application. Off you go. Very nice. Okay, just 5 reps will do. So you'll see how he's turning through his hip, he's turning into his thoracic, and he's throwing the CMT over his shoulder. And again, he's trying to decelerate that load and then accelerate it really quickly back down again. If necessary, we can do a couple of resets at the bottom just to demonstrate what we do to learn it. Okay, so just reset at the bottom, pause, control, take that breath in, and then go and accelerate. Off we go. Down we go. Boom. Yeah, good. Okay, and as we're confident and when we're ready for it, we can go 5 repetitions, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, let's have a look. Drive that hip through. Come on, more power, more speed. There we go. good, that's more like it. And you can start to see how clients are moving. You can start to hear the sound of the CMT really increasing in sound and being quite abrupt to quite short. That means that we're really accelerating properly. Okay, so those are the 2 exercises. If you want to develop power through the core, you want to get a strong, powerful core, then this is a great training tool for that and a great method. You don't have to do too many exercises. You just have to do those exercises really, really well and focus on them and focus on the speed and force that you apply to your own body. So have a go at that one. Grab a heavy CMT. The 4 kilos is probably appropriate for most guys, but if necessary, start off a little bit lighter. For female clients, you might want to go for a little bit lighter, maybe the 2 to start with, and then maybe progress on to the 4. Just see how they go. As long as they're controlled in their movement, then get into it. So have a go at that. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.